This is YouTube's darkest video 7. And actually, y'all say hi to YouTube. I'm gonna put this in the reaction channel. So hi YouTube. We're reacting to YouTube's darkest video 7. Uh yeah.
It's
Shut the hell
December
up,
4th,
C.
2003.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go try to get them to stop doing that.
A police officer walking in a local park in Arlington, Virginia, is approached by a concerned family, claiming that someone in a nearby neighborhood had been shooting off a flare gun. The officer could hear it too, and following the sound, he eventually found himself at the home of 56-year-old James Yu. The man lived alone in his half of this duplex, and was described by neighbors as a recluse known to exhibit unusual behavior. Across his social media, he made posts claiming that he was the victim of fraud at the hands of all sorts of government agencies, as he had a deep distrust of the US government as well as law enforcement, and he believed that numerous people were attempting to kill him,
That shit is scary as
like
hell.
his
Just losing your
ex-wife,
mind.
the FBI, and even his neighbors. His posts seemed entirely
That cop was
nonsensical,
not
and so did many
reassuring.
of his actions. In the months prior, he had covered up all of his windows with garbage bags and aluminum foil, and he even wrapped his trees in toilet paper. And though these actions are entirely harmless, on this day, things were becoming far more troubling.
What
When
the
police
fuck?
arrived at his home, Yu would be seen firing his flare gun out of his window and into the air, over and over again, and despite repeated attempts to get him to stop,
Arlington County Police! Stop shooting the flares! Mr. Yu!
Yeah, his
he
mind's
didn't
already
let
gone,
up,
bro.
shooting 41 flares in the span of just 25 minutes. And he did it all
41?
with no explanation. In fact, he didn't even say a single word. Understandably, police were eager to get Yu out of his home.
Welcome back,
as at this
Vaughn.
point, it
Shut
wasn't
the
obvious whether or
fuck
not
up,
he was
bro.
a threat. And so for hours and hours they called out to him, first asking and then demanding that he exit his home.
James.
Nigga really up with that shit. His quick draw gotta be nice as hell.
We have your building surrounded.
But still, there was no response. Growing impatient and worried
I
that
don't
Yu
get
might be
it.
planning
Don't worry
something,
about
the
it.
police would eventually bring in a specialized vehicle to bust down the door and spray the inside of the home with gas, all in an attempt to draw Yu outside.
James,
What the
stay
fuck?
away from your front door.
I've never seen no shit like this, chat.
Your front door.
It's a car with a big ass stick, and it breaks the front door. That's actually what the fuck. Then
In
they shoot
response,
gas in that
he
bitch.
began firing once again. Only this time, he wasn't using flares.
Oh, I don't know if I can show this on Twitch. Wait, no way he up stick on the.
And instead, he was now yielding an actual gun.
Welcome back, King Vaughn. O-Block missed you, bro.
Thankfully, none of these shots connected, but with the situation becoming increasingly dangerous, the officers decided to fall back,
Squid,
as they
you were
carefully
right.
came up with a new plan for apprehending Yu, though whatever they had been planning would never come to fruition.
He definitely upped it on himself, right?
Yeah.
Whoa! 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 He blew the fucking house. He blew the house up. Oh my god. I didn't even think of that. That didn't even cross my mind. I thought
In a
he
split
would.
second,
What?
Yu was gone, as a massive explosion rang out from inside the house, reducing the entire structure to rubble.
Why though?
Inside the
Who
house,
fucking
Yu had
knows,
stored
bro?
55 gallons of gasoline and
Real
explosives,
underscore
which
out
was
underscore
something
only
that
says this happened to my mansion before.
Losing your mind is the scariest thing on the fucking planet, bro. Cause what is the reason, bro?
explanation.
He shot 46 flares in the air for 20 minutes, shot at the cops, and then blew the house up.
Real_our_Oni says this happened to my mansion before.
All right. Vaughn took over his. Vaughn would at least got a body. Like, God. Not saying he
Based on the
should.
footage, it's been theorized that Yu's actions were an attempt to lure police into his home so that he could then set off this explosion and take them all out along with his neighbors.
Oh. It was a bait, chap. Does he not like how he started getting like conspiracy theory brain? Like he thinks the government and shit is out to get him. So I think that's what it was. Was he even in the house? He was definitely in the house.
As he genuinely believed that both
He's one of
parties were
those.
conspiring to kill him.
The part of like the people who think like the government's like they be the most nobody loser ass niggas. Like, nigga, you aren't special. You don't know anything about life. Like, no one's trying to get you. No offense. Like, I feel like even if I was crazy, I could never think that because I know how unimportant I am, like, to the government. It's a smart but dumb plan. Yeah, they never went inside.
Though somehow, when the smoke cleared, no civilians or police officers had so much as been injured. All that was found in the rubble was the
All right, I don't know.
remnants
Thanks
of
for
a
coming out,
single
bro.
body. Though for a moment, this
Yeah,
wasn't
time
the
bomb
end
would
of
have been
James
better.
Yu's story. Before that body could be identified, reports across social media began emerging showing that James Yu was somehow still alive.
Well, let me take that back. Houdini, welcome back. Welcome back, Houdini. The world missed you, bro. Welcome back. You did your best magic trick. What the fuck? What's up, Melik? How the fuck did this nigga live, bro?
After the blast, comments were being made on what appeared to be Yu's YouTube channel, where he stated that this whole thing was a cover-up and that he wasn't even inside the home when the standoff started, which looking back, we never actually see him, and we also never hear his voice. Numerous posts pointing out this development would go viral and cause mass confusion about the story.
Nigga, I'm gone right now.
When it was
What do you
revealed that
mean?
the body inside that building was in fact James Yu. Though in the end, it wasn't really as mysterious as some originally thought. As it turns out, the
motherfucking use watch it ad for a revive.
Yu's account, and instead it had a completely different username.
Oh, it was a
with
fake
the account
version of
likely
him.
having been created as nothing more than a hoax. To this day, though, there are some that still believe that this was all some sort of massive cover-up.
That
But in
bro.
reality, it
There's
just
no
seems
way
that
you
this
still
was the
off that,
result of a man
bro.
gripped by crippling paranoia and loneliness, with it all coming to a head in what has gone on to become one of YouTube's darkest videos.
Your hypothesis? What was your hypothesis? What'd I say? What if he was? He's actually dead, though. He's actually dead. Somebody just made a fake account.
The internet
Shadow
is a
clone
disturbing
jutsu.
frontier.
What the
This
fuck
year
we
alone,
watching?
countless people
Not gonna lie, Melik. We're watching YouTube's darkest videos. This shit is creepy as shit. So I don't know if you fucked up right now, but buckle up.
fallen victim to high-profile data breaches, raising serious concerns
Oh, is this
about
an
personal
ad?
information security.
Y'all go
Again,
support. No, I'm correct. All right. Yeah, this guy's videos is still the best.
there was really nothing else like it.
What the fuck?
This obscure 27,000 square foot structure allowed visitors to enter into what must have felt like another dimension. It was an exhibit called Dream Space and was the creation of British artist Maurice Agus, a 74-year-old artistic
Uncle
visionary
Dingy?
obsessed with the idea of creating large-scale
I don't trust
surreal
that nigga.
environments. And this was his magnum opus. The structure was inflatable, akin to a massive bounce house.
Wait,
Once-
chat. What does this remind you of? Did y'all ever have to do that? It's like a giant blanket, like a rainbow blanket. You throw it in the air and you got to go under it. Backrooms? What the fuck? That's what it reminds me of. I don't know. I love that shit when I was little. Hell yeah, that's what this shit remind me of. This shit looks sick.
Inside, guests were confronted with a labyrinth of brightly colored walls and cells.
That's literally how it
turning
was,
into
bruh.
some sort of surreal maze that patrons were told to lose themselves in. This piece of art premiered back
Chat
in
should do that.
2004,
Yeah, we should all
and
just
due
go
to
over there
its
and do that.
inflatability, it was actually built to travel, making stops in major cities in the UK before it was eventually set up at Riverside Park.
This is
in
sick.
Durham
Where does
on
it
the
go
22nd
wrong?
of June,
To
2006.
me, this is fire.
The very next day, 68-year-old Elizabeth Collins would visit the area with her husband and her daughter, as well as her 14-year-old grandson.
Okay.
And spotting this unusual structure in the distance, Elizabeth's grandson insisted on checking it out.
It pops.
and
Is
decided
it
to
even
take
that
off their
dangerous if it
shoes
pops?
and
Just
go
rip it.
inside. And while the rest of the group was more apprehensive
Right.
about entering, Elizabeth
Rip
eventually
that shit.
decided to accompany him, leaving her husband and daughter on the outside.
This looks sick
though
to me,
not before
Chad.
turning back to them and joking that she was going in to find peace and serenity. Outside, Elizabeth's husband and daughter sat at a nearby table and enjoyed a cup of tea whilst conversing about the events of the week.
Oh,
only
maybe
for the
she
man
gets,
to turn
like,
his head and notice
sick.
that Dreamspace was slightly moving, to which he excitedly said, "Oh, it's a ride, it's a ride. I wish I had gone on it." The daughter then turned her head to see the structure as it began to rise up.
Oh,
off the ground,
no.
To which she chillingly responded, "It's not a ride."
Don't tell me that shit go in the air, bro. Please don't tell me that shit go in the air. Oh, fuck no. Oh. Oh, they're fucked. They're fucked. Yeah, didn't they tie it down? They're up there and then boom. Oh, they're fucked. The movie Up, Jocelyn. Jocelyn. Oh my god. Okay, I'm cutting that fucking part out. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh my god. Bro, it's just not the movie Up, bro. Real people was in that bitch. Oh my god. Oh my. All right, all right. All right.
In that moment, Dreamspace had snapped from its moorings and was blown into the air by a massive gust of wind. Agus just so happened to be standing at the entrance as it began to shift, and noticing what was happening, he grabbed on as he desperately tried to hold down his entire life's work.
Nigga, you think you could hold... Do you see how fucking big... Okay.
Though clearly this was of no use, and after being lifted in the air, his grip failed, sending him falling back to the ground below where he lay staring up at his creation, that was now flying 30 feet above him.
Oh, fuck, dude. Maybe you can tank it, though, because the pad is soft, right? I don't know. I'm just trying to give a hopeful thing. I think, yeah.
Inside,
Maybe.
there were as many as 30 people who were now being thrashed around this giant inflatable structure in a scene that I truly can't even imagine.
Imagine getting
The
crushed under,
claustrophobia of
yeah.
it, the dizzying colors, the screams. It's genuinely one of the most horrific scenarios I've ever heard. The inflatable structure was airborne for well over a minute, folding into itself before finally crashing back down into a parking lot, leaving behind what was described by witnesses as a field of bodies.
Damn.
Worst of all, the majority of those in attendance were families with small children, with one 7-year-old
Oh,
girl recounting her
no.
experience, saying, "It was very scary and people were screaming. I saw a lady clinging on and then falling out, and then she was lying on her back with people around her. I think she died."
Fuck,
This
bro.
lady was most likely 68-year-old Elizabeth Collins, who had been ejected from the structure when it was in the air, with her injuries being catastrophic and
Damn.
unsurvivable. Of all the others now sprawled throughout this field of grass, most were left injured but thankfully not in serious condition, though this wasn't the case for 38-year-old Claire from Edge, who had been inside during the accident with her 2 children, and despite her kids surviving, she was sadly not so lucky, with Claire and Elizabeth being the sole fatal
Yeah,
victims of
Jocelyn,
the
you're good. You're
incident.
good. It was funny. You didn't know.
The video is terrifying, and though it's easy to say that this could have been so much worse, considering how many people were injured,
It could have
at the
been
time,
way
the
worse.
consequences were still catastrophic.
But yeah,
as it devastated
two deaths
families
is still
and likely
crazy.
left many others at the scene traumatized for life, especially the young children. But how could this have happened?
Luckily, no
Well,
children
that
died
day was
too.
particularly warm, which likely caused the air inside the structure to expand, causing a hot air balloon-like effect, which was then exacerbated by sudden strong gusts of wind, which eventually caused the structure to go airborne. As in the end, it just wasn't properly
Live,
secured
love
for the
up, or
conditions.
fly. Shut the hell
Soon
up,
after the
Cheesy.
incident, Maurice Agus was arrested for manslaughter, though he would ultimately only end up paying a small fine, as he vowed to never create a large work again. Just a few years later, in 2009, Maurice Agus would pass away, with his legacy forever being defined by this devastating footage.
And you know, like, I know he didn't want that to. It's just fuck, bro. Maybe you gotta tie that shit down even more, bro. A few fucking pieces of string, it's not going.
Happy birthday to you.
Damn.
Happy birthday to you.
What the fuck? Yeah, he just
On
wanted to
October
make people
2nd,
happy.
2006, police entered the home of 31-year-old Elaine Campione, where inside they found the woman speaking incoherently. Next to her was a VHS camera, depicting a series of disturbing events that had
She definitely
transpired within
lost
the
her
home
mind.
over the previous months and days, with the footage eventually finding its way onto YouTube.
Hi, Serena. It's August 8th.
Oh, leave the kids alone,
2006.
please. I beg you, leave the kids
Happy
alone.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
The tape starts
That's
with Elaine
record.
pointing her new camera at her daughter Serena. It was her 3rd birthday.
My
The
Fuwadi
son
brain
was
can't
playing
hold
about
this
the brand
stuff.
new
I'm
bike
sorry,
in the
I
living
don't
room.
What is
Oh,
it?
trikes.
Days later, the footage continues, showing Serena once again as Elaine asks,
How does
Yeah,
Mama
tell some
like-
kids you getting
does
jumped.
Mama love you?
I think maybe she just lost her mind.
Oh, I love you more than that.
I don't know what's
How
going
much does
on.
your Mama love you?
Elaine then shows her other daughter Sophia, who was just a baby, before
Aw.
turning the camera on herself and showing the kids how the device worked.
Hi. See how the camcorder works? Look. Look. Hi. Is that mommy? Hi.
Kids are so
So
fire.
far, the footage seems like nothing more than your standard family home videotape, and appears completely wholesome. Though with the next recording, the tone begins to shift, and things start to become slightly concerning.
Okay.
This is a deplorable, horrible, messy, filthy apartment that supposedly my 2 children and I live in, and it's just a horrible, horrible mess. Yeah.
That apartment's
And
clean as
Diego
fuck.
Campione is totally in the wrong, and I hope he burns in hell for all his sins.
Ah.
The same as Leonardo.
As Elaine
Huh?
shows the camera her home, she begins joking about how they are living in deplorable conditions, before randomly calling out 2 men who she says she hopes burn in hell, all while her children are in the same room. She starts to grow more and more agitated.
Okay.
All I wanted to do was take care of my 2 little girls and live happily ever after the 3 years of physical, emotional, and mental abuse that I endured tremendously by Leonardo Campione, and then the
Leonardo
past year
Campione?
from Anna
Sounds
and
like a
Diego Campione,
mobster.
mental and emotional abuse.
Outright saying that she was abused by a man named Leonard Campione, who happened to be her ex-husband and the father of these children. And she goes on from there, with each moment
That nigga do look like a villain. I'm not gonna cap to you, chat. He does look like a villain to some movie. Replay? You hear it?
Emotional abuse.
outright saying that she was abused by a man named Leonard Campione, who happened to be her ex-husband and the
That
father
nigga
of
look
these
evil as
children.
shit.
And she goes on. from
Maybe he
there,
didn't do
with
shit,
each
but I'm just
moment
saying.
clearly making the kids more and more anxious.
And I want justice to my family for what they have all done to us. I cried out for help.
You're not supposed to be saying that in front of your kids, though.
Charged him for the assaults he did to
He
me.
looks like he
Eventually causing
eats
Elaine to
cheese
snap
and
out of it and
biscuits.
stop the camera.
And my poor 3-year-old, I did everything to protect. And what do you
Just
say,
stressing out your
Sabrina?
kid for no
What do you
reason.
want?
The video then skips forward once more, with this footage being taken just days before the police were called, showing Serena coloring on the floor as Elaine
Uh-oh.
asks,
Who loves ya? Mommy. Who loves you the most?
Uh-huh.
That much? Oh, I
Yeah,
think I
there's no
love you
point
more
in
than that.
saying that in front of your kids.
The scene
Just
that
stressing
unfolds
them.
next was recorded on that very same night, just hours later.
Oh, fuck.
Recording this because Leo and Dad are you happy? Everything is gone. You wouldn't about our babies. You didn't care about me. You cared about yourself. All you did was hurt.
You better not touch those fucking kids, bro.
In the video, Elaine states that everything is gone, as she speaks to Leo directly, accusing him of having ruined their lives with his constant abuse.
You are truly the devil. And I hate you. 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 And I want you to
Okay,
know
hate him,
that
but what did you do to those fucking babies, bro?
Disturbingly, the children were nowhere to be seen in the footage.
Please, hey, yo,
Elaine
don't play with
eventually
me.
addressing them by saying,
God believes me. And God's taking care of them now.
Oh my god, bro. I hate people like this, bro. Yo. If you're beefing with your fucking partner, bro, leave the fucking kids. Leave the kids. Leave the kids out of it, bro. They have nothing to do with it, bro. I swear to God. Oh, that's dope. She bought you ruffles. Nice. Please.
You're protected by God. Thank
Ruffles sound so
God.
fire right now.
Thank you.
You want some? Thank you, bro.
There's no way I could have them with you. Nothing's good enough for you. It has to always be your way. Well, they're good. And you can have it your way. Your wife and your daughters are dead now. We're all
My God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I just wish I could just grab this nigga.
in heaven.
You're such a...
according to Elaine, not only were her children gone, but she was too. She stops the recording.
You're not in heaven. Those babies in heaven.
Despite
She
saying
not
this,
in
the camera
heaven.
would actually start up one more time.
Oh.
Elaine describes how she was still alive, despite having attempted to OD, which prompted her to
Yeah, all right. She pussy.
call the police. When officers arrived at the home, both Serena and Sophia were found laying in her mother's bed, holding hands, and wrapped tightly in rosaries. Neither of them were alive.
Fuck, bro.
2 nights prior and directly before
Pussy.
filming this message, Elaine had brought them both into the bathroom as it was time for their nightly baths. And once in the tub, she told them to play a game, one where they would place their heads beneath the water and blow out bubbles. When they did this, Elaine held their heads down, and she didn't let go until she was certain.
This should be pissing me off. All right, Oni. You don't. Why do people do that? I'll never, like the father that kills himself and everyone in the family, and like, you do not have the rights. You don't have the right to your kid's life. Why do people do this? They're their own beings. They're their own people, bruh. I know you think they're just kids, but they're like, what? That's what frustrates me about this. You don't own them. You just take care of them. That's all. That's literally all. You don't own your children. You have no right to take them. You can take your own life. Like, honestly, I don't give a fuck. So she killed the kid. Yeah, she did, bro. But why do some parents think they own their children? That's the shit that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, she took it. He doesn't own those kids either. You didn't take anybody, bruh. You had no right.
certain they were gone.
It's so frustrating. That mentality is so frustrating.
As we get a glimpse into Elaine's descent into madness in the moments directly
The
before
selfish.
she stole her children's lives. But all of this leaves one obvious question. Why? Well, it was noted during her investigation that the abuse she alleged from her ex-husband Leo seemed to be very real and well documented over the years, leading to Leo not being able to see his children for over a year, with this causing the two to separate, which is when Elaine's mind began to deteriorate. She began believing that people were following her and were going to kill her, with this fear of people eventually shifting to a fear of aliens, as she claimed to have seen them on numerous occasions, believing they were following her. Because of this fear, she refused to let her children out of her sight, not even allowing her own parents to look after them, causing her to become so attached to these children that she genuinely began to believe that they were all one entity, which made things incredibly concerning when she became suicidal and eventually attempted to take her own life. Despite Leo's more than troubled history, he had supposedly turned his life around in the years leading to this footage, and was eventually allowed to start visiting the children on a limited capacity. And seeing the children and seeing the way their mother was behaving, he began to grow incredibly concerned, and eventually attempted to gain full custody. And it was this bitter custody battle that seemed to be the ultimate factor that led to Elaine ending the lives of her children.
God's taking care of them now. You're protected by God. Thank God. Thank you. Because there's no way I could have them with you.
Elaine Campione would be charged with 2 counts of murder and would eventually be sentenced to life in prison, with a possibility of parole after 25 years. Today, she's held in a minimum security prison, where she's free to leave once every weekend to attend church and other functions.
What kind of fucking prison is that? She was petty. She was petty, and her mind was cracked, which I can't empathize with. But the idea that you own your children will never, ever, 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 ever seem good to me. Just the idea that you just have the right to take them away. That shit just fucking mind boggles me. Like they're not their own people. Or they have the potential to be even like a person. You just have the right to take that completely away. Bruh. Fuck, bro. But she was abused by, I guess, the ex-husband, and it just cracked her mind. What the fuck is that?
2010, a 39-year-old man named Gavin Collins was released from the HMP Ranby prison in the UK.
Send that nigga back.
24 hours. As the very next day, he suffered a severe mental breakdown, the result of which was captured partially across several video recordings that later appeared on YouTube. This is the story of his rampage.
That nigga looked like that, and you fucking let him out? What is these niggas on?
Approximately 9 a.m.
Ugly as shit. Lock that nigga up.
His home. As he walked down the sidewalk, those in the area reported him acting strangely, muttering to himself that he was Jesus and that he was invincible.
Yeah, he's one of those crazies.
Without
this
warning,
is
he then
how
turned his
we have a
attention
lot
to
of
a random
crazies in
home,
this one, chat.
which he forcefully entered, stole a man's car keys, and took his vehicle, taking off with no apparent destination. Inside the car, the owner just so happened to have 2 cameras, one being a standard dash cam and the other facing inside the vehicle, giving us a look at Gavin and his apparent mental state.
I'm sorry, but his fucking face, this nigga is locked the fuck in. This is literally me when I play tag, bro. I'm so fucking locked, like my shit. I'm sorry. Oh hell no.
I'll shut you up with the eyesight I've got. Hey, don't need this. Come on, let's go, bro. So, get rid of all the crap hairs. Let's go.
Like, what do you do when someone's mind is just this fucked? What do you do? And this could just happen to somebody. They could just be totally normal and then their mind is just fucked. Road rage? Nah, he's just crazy.
Let's go.
Just at a glance, it's obvious that Gavin is completely unhinged. For some reason, he was utterly filled with rage, ripping off the rearview mirror and yelling obscenities and incomprehensible threats at no one in particular.
Whoa, which way is that car going?
And incomprehensible threats at no one in particular.
Oh wait, this is UK. This is UK. Wait, he's in a residential. These are houses.
And most concerning of all is the speed in which he's traveling, as he starts driving faster and faster, swerving in and out of cars as he passes through busy residential areas. As he reaches speeds that have been estimated to be anywhere from 85 miles an hour to well over
85 in a resi, 120 in a. He's a fucking missile.
Every time he avoids collision, at least for the time being.
Man, he whipping out. Oh, never mind. He doesn't even have it. He has his seatbelt on, actually. Why even have your seat? You're gonna die if you're going 120 in a resi. What the fuck is the point of the seatbelt? He just put it on? Oh. No. Please just.
In an instant, Gavin smashes the vehicle into a brick home at full speed.
It's a home, chat.
The
Fuck.
impact being devastating. And yet somehow, through the destruction, Gavin was not only still alive, but completely unharmed, and also completely unfazed.
Maybe these seatbelts really do fucking work. Holy shit. This nigga lived?
He pulled himself from the wreckage and
immediately
turned his
let me
attention
shut my
to a
bitch ass
woman
up and
driving
make sure I got that
nearby.
seatbelt on.
Within
What the
moments, he forced
fuck?
his way into the vehicle and was behind the wheel once again.
Wait. What?
completely unfazed. He pulled himself from the wreckage and immediately turned his attention to a woman driving nearby, and within moments he had forced his way into the vehicle and was
This nigga playing GTA. This nigga playing GTA. He crashed his whip. He said he saw the next NPC and stole her shit.
behind the wheel once again, continuing this deranged driving spree until once again he crashed. And much like the initial collision, he survived, walking away unscathed
He crashed
before turning
twice
his
and
attention
this
to
nigga
another
lived?
random home.
Joe, he crashed, bro. He crashed, survived, and then stole another car. And now we're here.
In pursuit of stealing his
He stole 2 cars, crashed.
third vehicle, he grabbed a nearby
Houdini,
concrete slab
welcome
and began
back.
to smash through the home's doors, bloodying his hand in the process, before eventually making entry. Inside were a mother and her 2 children.
Now he's
one of which
invading
was
a
5
house?
years old, and the other
No.
wasn't even here. Gavin approached the terrified family, yelling and demanding that the mother give up her car keys, telling her that he
What's
was
up with this
Jesus,
nigga in
and
cars?
that, because I am Jesus, I will kill you if you don't give me the keys. Without hesitation, she did as he said. Gavin then went to each member of the family, and with his injured hand, he drew crosses on their forehead, out of his own blood, before taking off with his 3rd stolen car.
Demon, bro. Demon.
Once
Yeah,
again,
stop
Gavin
that
was
nigga.
driving manically, though this time he was even more reckless, crashing
Stop
into
that
a brick
nigga.
wall and then a cop
Stop him
car.
before he... You stupid bitch. You could have stopped him. Oh, cop, bro.
Crashing into a brick wall.
U.S. cops would have smashed into his shit right
And
there.
then a cop car.
This
Before
is
seeing the
actually Vaughn.
sights
Shut the
on
fuck
a
up.
pedestrian. While speeding through a neighborhood, Gavin would see a man standing innocently near a bus stop, and for whatever reason, the sight of this man enraged him, causing Gavin to slam on the brakes and reverse the vehicle, stepping on the gas as hard as he could, and crashing directly into him.
Oh yeah, he should have shot his. If this was if he was on American servers, bruh. If he was on American, that fucking car would have been Swiss fucking cheese. They would have. They wouldn't. They couldn't wait to use the new Nina. They would have sprayed his whole shit up. They would have like, get out the car as soon as he pressed the gas a little bit. Bah, 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 bah.
Leaving him lying
Not just watch this nigga drive away,
there
but
with devastating injuries.
they would have been on
Gavin
his
quickly exited the
ass.
vehicle and found the man lying
Hellcats and
motionless
all.
on the ground, prompting him to shout, "I've killed him. I've killed the devil." Minutes later, Gavin would crash yet another car into yet another home, though this time the police weren't far behind.
Finally, bro. 3 crashes, bro. And the police is not on his ass. They're probably not used to chases there, though. If you're from Cali, you're probably used to... The cops here are way used to chases. They would have been choppers and everything. Oh, fuck. Are those tasers, nigga? If you don't upstick... I wonder what this looks like in his brain, because he's like... His brain is completely fucking
Finally
cracked.
bringing his disturbed driving spree to an end. The man that Gavin had struck was 87-year-old Terry Radford,
87?
a retired
Oh,
teacher whose
no.
injuries were catastrophic, with the man passing away soon after. According to his
Damn.
family, Terry was an incredible grandfather, father, and son. The footage is genuinely horrifying, but what's most shocking of all is the fact that any of this was even allowed to happen. As stated previously, this was Gavin's very first day out of prison, and based on the behavior he exhibited whilst in prison, he really should have never been released. Gavin was granted an earlier
That's
release
what I
in-
just said, Chad. Look at this nigga face. How the fuck did he get released? Look. I know for a fact the guard that let go of this nigga's handcuffs said, this nigga is crazy as shit. We gonna see him again. I know for a fact. He looks nuts. There's no fucking way, bro.
He really should have never been released. Gavin was granted an early release in March of 2019 for charges
early
based
release.
around burglary. But just as he was set to be freed, it was discovered that he had submitted an adulterate drug test, which caused his case to be re-examined and resulted in his release being postponed. In response, Gavin lost his mind, Later that month, he assaulted a prison guard before spraying him with an unknown liquid that contained bleach, before proceeding to set his cell on fire.
Is this nigga the Joker? How the fuck was he able to do what? I can't hear it. What you mean you can't hear it? Y'all can't hear it? What's up, Crab? What's up, Thomas? Who the fuck is this? Bro. Thomas, what you mean you can't hear it? Oh, you been watching? I can barely hear it on my max volume. Chat, y'all can barely hear it? Why ain't y'all
And
telling me?
attacking another officer with a piece of wood.
All right, it should
Due
be
to his
louder now.
actions, Gavin was placed into an isolated cell, where less than a week later, he started yet
I
another
just made it
fire.
louder.
And when an officer entered his cell to put it out, Gavin
me know if
struck
it's
them
too
in
loud.
the head and pulled out a plastic knife, threatening to slash him, stating that it would be a thrill to kill him. Gavin's stay in prison clearly hadn't rehabilitated him. In fact, it seemed to have made him more violent than ever before, and more mentally disturbed. Though
Justin,
shockingly,
please.
despite all of these additional crimes, Colin's release would go on to be approved less than 2 weeks later.
Damn. All right. Wait, we gotta play this back. This nigga did what? And he still got approved?
Gavin's stay in prison clearly hadn't rehabilitated him. In fact, it seemed to have made him more violent than ever before, and more mentally disturbed. Though shockingly, despite all of these additional crimes, Colin's release would go on to be approved less than 2 weeks later, with Gavin being set free on April.
He attacked a guard, set his cell on fire, and he still got approved to be released. Are you fucking serious, bro? What's going on in the UK?
April 18th, and within
Bro,
just
it's a GTA
24
character.
hours, Terry Radford would be brutally killed. Gavin was sentenced to 21 years in prison, and during his
Look at
trial,
this
it was
nigga.
revealed that no drugs were found in his system. And instead, this all seemed to be the
He's just
result
pure
of some
crazy.
sort of psychotic episode that just so happened to be captured on camera in one of YouTube's darkest videos.
They were too soft. That is not Jesus. What's up with crazy people thinking they're Jesus and God, and what's up with that? Like, what part of their brain snaps and now all of a sudden they're... Great video. Another amazing video.